Nasser Al-Attiyah and Edouard Boulanger stayed clear of trouble on a dramatic final day of the 34th Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge to secure a crucial 2 minutes 28 seconds victory in their bid to defend their FIA World Rally Raid Championship W2RC titles. On a last stage where several of his closest rivals in the top 10 hit trouble, Al-Attiyah claimed the stage win in his Dacia Sand Rider to also win the ultimate category. He was able to fend off the challenge from the Toyota Gazoo Racing crews of Lucas Mariche and Armand Montleon and Seth Quintero and Dennis Sens to earn his 5th victory at the grueling desert event to follow previous successes in 2008, 2016, 2021, and 2024. The result marked Boulanger's 3rd triumph after his win with Al-Attiyah last year and his maiden victory with Stefan Peter Hansel in 2022. Second place for Mariche and 3rd overall for Quintero enabled Toyota Gazoo Racing to remain firmly on track to retain the W2RC manufacturer's title after Yazd Al-Raji's victory at the Dakar Rally. The final start list featured 48 vehicles in the FIA section, with 21 competing in the Ultimate category, 14 in Challenger and 13 in SSV. Of those, 32 were registered for points in the W2RC. Lithuanian Rokas Baciuska was a non-starter in the Overdrive Racing team, while Henk Leitgand and Brett Cummings were replaced in the Toyota Gazoo Racing (TGR) lineup by Guy Botterill and Dennis Murphy. The replacements were not registered for the W2RC. Young Eric Goxel earned a memorable maiden win on the penultimate stage on his first event with Overdrive Racing in the Energylandia Rally Team Toyota. But he and navigator Oriol Mina suffered a fire in their Toyota after 37 kilometers of stage 5 and lost out on a potential 4th overall. That misfortune lifted teammates Juan Cruz Jacopini and Danny Oliveras into that position. The American duo of Mitch Guthrie and Kellen Walsh brought the sole surviving Ford M Sport Raptor to the finish in 5th and the replacement Botterill claimed 6th for TGR. Yazd Al-Raji and his German navigator Timo Gottschalk came into the event as leaders of the W2RC but suffered engine overheating issues after 13 kilometers of the final stage. They now hold 2nd in the championship standings. Technical issues also cost João Ferreira and Felipe Palmeiro further time after a broken driveshaft on the prologue and a puncture. But the Portuguese duo survived to take 6th place in their diesel-engined Mini JCW rally. Al-Attiyah topped the times on the prologue at the Jebel Hafit Desert Park, near the start in Alain, and picked up the 3 bonus points. Mariche and Dacia's Sebastian Loeb followed the Qatari with the 2nd and 3rd quickest times. Mariche then hit the front on the opening stage between Alain and the bivouac camp at Mziar and headed into the 2nd loop stage with a lead of 1 minute 1 second over Loeb. Marek Goxel failed to finish the special in his Overdrive Racing Toyota and Al-Attiyah picked up a puncture. Loeb won stage 2 from Al-Attiyah and moved ahead of Mariche into the lead with Quintero and Guillaume de Mevius holding 4th and 5th. TGR Saud Variawa suffered gearbox issues after 138 kilometers and Martin Prokop's chance of earning a 5th podium finish were dented when he suffered technical problems. Al-Attiyah and Jacopini were handed 1 minute time penalties for false starts. Days 3 and 4 constituted a new marathon stage between Mziar and the remote Ulqua camp. Al-Attiyah won the opening wind-interrupted section of 237.31 kilometers by just under 4 minutes from Quintero to seize the overall lead from Mariche and Loeb, after the latter picked up a 2-minute speeding penalty. Notional times were awarded to the remainder of the field after strong winds prevented action from continuing on safety grounds. The Ford M Sport team withdrew Matthias Ekström for medical reasons. The Swede had been feeling unwell since the start and his conditions worsened as the event progressed. Eric Gokel then became one of the youngest ever winners of a stage in Abu Dhabi when he beat Mariche by 2 minutes 29 seconds to claim the fastest time over the 299.61 kilometers of stage 4. That success lifted the pole into fourth in the general classification behind Alatia, Marish and Quintero. It was a bitterly disappointing birthday for Loeb. However, he missed a waypoint by less than 10 meters and rolled his Dacia out of the event. A mere 41 seconds separated Marish from Alatia before the final stage between Ziar and the finish on Hudayriyat Island in Abu Dhabi. But the Qatari held on to seal his fifth victory as Al-Razi, Gokul and Demevius all hit trouble. The latter managed to finish but dropped to 29th overall behind Al-Razi. Saudi Arabia's Dania Akil became the first woman since the launch of the W2RC in 2022 to win a category outright, and she also finished 8th overall. Akil teamed up with French navigator Stéphane Duple to see off a fierce challenge from the young Spaniard Pau Navarro and his navigator Jan Rosa Vinas in the challenger category with her BBR Motorsport Taurus T3 Max. Saudi rival Yassir Sedan won the last stage, but delays earlier in the week had cost him and Michael Medj dearly. They recovered strongly to finish third of the W2RC cruise behind the Brazilian duo of Marcos Baumgart and Kleber Cincia. The result gave BBR Motorsport a clean sweep of the top 4 places. Akil topped the times on the opener from Sedan and Navarro, with Puck Klaassen in 4th and Alatia in 6th. Sedan beat Akil on stage 2 to grab the advantage to take into the 2-day marathon stage, but both Klaassen, engine, and Alatia, fuel pump, ground to a halt with mechanical woes after 180 kilometers and 189 kilometers, respectively. Mario Franco did not start the stage in his Yamaha, and Klaassen was later handed a 20-hour time penalty for an engine block change. Red Bull KTM Factory Racing's Daniel Sanders has won the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge, extending his lead in the 2025 FIM World Rally Raid Championship to 17 points. Dominating round 2 in the United Arab Emirates, Sanders secured 2 stage wins and finished nearly 6 minutes ahead of his closest rival. Teammate Luciano Benavides put in a strong performance too, narrowly missing the overall podium with his 4th place finish. Meanwhile, Rally 2 contender Edgar Canet showed early promise with a 4th place result in the prologue, but was unfortunately forced to retire after a crash on stage 1. Daniel Sanders carried his dominant Dakar Rally form into the 2025 Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge, kicking off the event with a 5th place finish on Saturday's prologue. After seizing the rally lead after his Stage 2 victory, he then engaged in a fierce battle with Tosha Sharena, with the two riders trading places at the top of the leaderboard. However, Sanders' Stage 4 win and a solid 4th place finish on the final day ultimately secured his overall victory. The KTM 450 Rally rider's standout performance over the 6-day event earned him a full haul of championship points, and he leaves Abu Dhabi with a 17-point lead in the championship ahead of Round 3 in South Africa. The Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge was held under the patronage of HH Sheikh Hamdan bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the ruler's representative court in Al Dhafra region. Supported by the Abu Dhabi Sports Council, it was also backed by ADNOC Distribution, the Department of Culture and Tourism Abu Dhabi, and other governmental entities, in addition to Al Futim Toyota and DHL. Round 3 of the FIA World Rally Raid Championship takes teams to South Africa for the new Sun City-based South African Safari Rally on May 18 to 24.